Welcome to HIA Matters, proudly presented by Rapid Building Approvals.
Are you looking to complete your next building project in rapid time? Have your project approved within 24 hours with Rapid Building Approvals. With multiple office locations across Queensland, our local team is always ready. Try your next project with Rapid Building Approvals and experience the difference.
To find out more, visit rapidapprovals.com.au. Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of HIA Matters. My name is Glenn Mintern, your podcast host. Today we've got Debbie Johnson with us, the HIA National President, joining us here on the terrace at the Ville Resort Casino in Townsville. A beautiful backdrop. Welcome to Townsville.
Thank you, Glenn. It's good to be here.
What a beautiful place to be. Why would you want to be anywhere else?
Well, I don't. I'm happy to be here. I got in late last night and as it broke dawn, this is what surrounded me, so awesome.
All right, before we talk about some of the things that do matter to everybody, let's talk a little bit about you and your background. You've been around the building industry for quite a long time, really, haven't you?
Yes, all my working life I've been in the building industry. So I came in through building design, went straight there at about the age of 14. I went to college and did architectural design, and then in the 90s got my builder's qualification and been in the industry, I suppose, had my own business nearly 40 years.
40 years of experience in the industry. Then at what stage did you decide you wanted to be involved at a higher level, just outside of running your own business?
Well, I don't think I ever made that conscious decision as such. So I joined the HIA nearly 30 years ago. I believe that being part of industry associations is key to being successful in business, and I not only belong to HIA but everything that could possibly assist me in business, every other association. But over time I actually have whittled them down because I found that HIA delivered everything I need and more. And being an active member sort of gave me the opportunity to be involved at committee levels and so forth. So I don't think I ever aspired to be the National President of the House. I'm sure I didn't. But it has just come about really through my passion in.
As you said, you've got involved from a leadership level for some time. 2013, Queensland Regional President. 2017, the Association's National Board. National President, 2023. When you became president, what did you have in your mind as what you wanted to achieve in your role as president of HIA?
Well, it's funny, everyone automatically assumed I would promote women in the industry, and I mean, I do that as a matter of course.
Yes.
I promote people in the industry, and women are part of the race. So, but it certainly wasn't my passion specifically, because I really want to sort of normalise the situation for women in the industry, not sort of call it out as something exceptional. Look, we were in transition at the time as an association. We were seeing Graham Wolfe retire.
Yes. After
many years of service to our industry, and we were looking to replace Graham with a new leader, which we've done successfully in Jocelyn.
You talked about not necessarily wanting to, make sure that the women element was going ahead, but it seems to be going a whole lot better than anyone expected. We seem to be seeing a whole lot more of the girls coming through the trades. We seem to see a whole lot more of women running businesses and being involved at a higher level now. Can we still do a little bit more though?
Of course we can. Yeah, the numbers are still not where we'd like them to be. And trades is a key part for our young men and women to come and join us at a trade level. And that's a whole new, perspective too, because young people aren't actually seeing the building industry as being a key industry to join. They're looking at high tech and IT roles rather than the trades, which are hands-on, and that's, as I say, the young people more broadly. And so that's a challenge in itself. But there's a lot of paraprofessional and professional roles that women are filling. A builder's role, people often say to me, "Oh, you're a builder, who does your building?" And I think, well, I'm the builder, I do the building.
Yes.
Well, what they're looking for is the carpenter. That's what they think of when they think of a builder, it's a carpenter. So yes, I have carpenters. I don't do the carpentry. A lot of builders are qualified carpenters. I'm not. I've come through building design.
Yeah.
So, but a builder runs the show and takes responsibility for the project from a quality and also financial perspective. So they run the show, and that's what I do.
So on the trades issue, and you talk about the fact that, you know, we are struggling a little bit to get anybody into trades. It is a hot topic because we are going through, I think it's fair to say, a housing crisis. We are in a situation where we do need to build more houses. Without the trades, we can't build the houses. So what can we do to encourage more people to become tradespeople, to build the houses that we need to go forward as a country?
Well, you know, I'm in the industry because I'm passionate about this industry and always have been. So it's never been a conscious decision to be involved. It's always been what I've been drawn to. And they're the young people we want coming in, people who will be passionate about our industry. So whilst there are incentives for them to be taken on as apprentices and so forth, it can't be the only reason to come on board. We don't want people coming because it's a free ride on the bus. We want them coming because they really enjoy the building game and want to be part of our organisation, our industry. So I guess it's up to us as an industry association and as members of this association to show what those highlights are. And we're just about to come into our awards season, which you're familiar with. And you know, that's the best showcase of what we do and everything good in this industry. And whilst I'm not a fan of shows like The Block and so forth, it does highlight the thrill of you know, putting a project together. The only reason I'm not sort of supportive of those TV shows is they're not terribly realistic. You know, things happen very quickly.
Very much so.
And you know, it's all about the show. But there is nothing more thrilling than seeing a project come together and handing it over to clients.
So as part of your advocacy, especially dealing with governments, and I know recently you were able to spend some time with the Prime Minister, what's your message? What's your message to governments as an advocacy board, which HIA is? What are you saying to governments to help us go forward, given the current situation we're in?
So we're all aware that the government has set down a $1.2 million target to deliver dwellings over the next 5 years. So they're not necessarily detached houses, there could be dwelling units as well, and that'll be a big part of the solution. That is the government's target, but we're more than willing to fall in with that. We want to build these projects with them. But you know, government has a number of federal portfolios that touch on the housing sector, and it's key that each of those sectors actually prioritise housing in their own portfolios. So that you know, if our paths align, if there's true leadership demonstrated, was my message to the Prime Minister. If you can get your ministers to pull housing out of their portfolio wherever they affect us, whether it's immigration, whether it's training, you know, whether it's social housing, if we can get you behind us, then, you know, there's a real chance we can deliver these projects.
All right, well, let's also then talk about your visit. You're here in North Queensland. You'll be meeting with suppliers and builders in our region. What's your message to regional builders? I mean, I guess we're all facing significant issues through all kinds of construction, and whether you're in a capital city or a regional area. I guess sometimes, though, the regional areas do tend to feel a little bit left out, but that's something that HIA doesn't let happen.
Well, we try not to let it happen. Look, as a builder myself, I think the biggest challenge we have is actually pricing a job and getting our trades to stick to the prices that they've given us. And that was, you know, extremely evident through COVID, with materials and trade supplies being so short that, you know, it was every man for himself, really. And the relationship that I have with you as a client, you know, it's a fixed price contract. So if I'm going to build your home for $500,000, you know, that's the commitment I make, and it's a contract. But then to put that $500,000 together, I've gone out to my suppliers and my trades to get their quotes. And whilst there's contingency and whilst there's profit, I rely on everybody playing their part. So if you get someone rogue who says, well, I've had a better offer, or I've changed my mind, it's now going to be whatever, then I have to renegotiate that contract all the way through. But my contract with you still stands. So that's a problem. And a lot of our members were caught out severely through that COVID era and are very anxious about treading forward, you know.
So we obviously learned a lot of lessons during COVID. I mean, obviously it was a pretty tough time, but we did learn a lot of lessons about how we can go forward in a better way, I suppose.
Well, it's still difficult because
Yes.
we still have a fixed price contract.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you overestimate to cover yourself for those unforeseen situations and therefore miss out on the job?
Yep.
Or unfairly target the consumer because you've added too much? I mean, what is the solution? A lot of builders are looking at doing spec work where the client's not involved. So if they can afford to run the project without a client and then sell it at the end, then they've got complete control. So there's that's far more appealing, but not everyone's in that situation. Most of us need a client
Yes.
to make the project work. So it's very difficult in the contracting sense, and from a consumer's point of view, it's fair and reasonable for them to expect a fixed price.
Yeah.
But it's like the goalposts have changed and things haven't really settled in nicely yet for us to feel confident about our trades and suppliers getting behind us with their prices. So.
All right, I want to also go back to something you mentioned, that of course we are coming into awards season. I know you'll be joining us in Cairns for the Cairns Awards a little bit later on this year. For those HIA members who've maybe sat back and haven't thought about entering awards, why do you think it's important to get involved in nominating something that someone has built for the HIA Awards?
Yeah, nominating is the key, not winning.
Yes.
I mean, if you win, that's a bonus.
Bonus, absolutely.
An absolute bonus. And but being part of the awards program is great. I mean, our clients do love it, that you think enough of their project to put it forward. Your team loves it, your trades love it, and just to celebrate the industry and be part of it. To come along to the housing awards and see what everyone has done in your region and pick yourself and you think, oh, I should have had something in that category because I actually had something that, was better than that,
Yeah.
whatever. But yes, it takes on a whole new meaning for you if you're actually part of the awards program as
Yeah.
well.
And what about the incredible role the judges play? I mean, it is the toughest job in the world to go through all of these incredible buildings and pick a winner. But the judges do an amazing job and they do tend to get it right. It is a tough job.
Well, I've judged for many years in the past and really enjoyed it. I think it's an absolute privilege to judge the awards, and it's a great insight that you get in talking to the builder and their clients and seeing the site and understanding the degree of difficulty involved with that job or the challenges that they
Yes.
had. So that insight to the project is amazing, and I mean there's so much more to judging than seeing that image come up on the screen where we can all sit there and say, how did that win?
Exactly.
Or, yeah, that's amazing. But to actually get on site and talk to the builders or the trades, or sometimes talking to the apprentice for the builder is amazing too, and hearing their side of their journey with that project is really exciting.
Yeah, it's a real community, the construction community, and it's great to get together to celebrate. Now, I just want to quickly talk to you a little bit about outside of HIA. I know that you and your husband Phil do an amazing amount of stuff outside of HIA. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you like to do outside of your role at HIA and outside of construction.
Oh, well, we've had a few other small businesses. I ran an international food market for about 5 years that
Goodness.
I started at the Sunshine Coast, which is where we're based. And that was exciting. We had 15 different nationalities represented there every Friday night for street food.
Wow.
And that's sort of going back to 2015 where markets were, I suppose, starting to emerge, food markets were starting
Yes, very
to
much so.
emerge. But what we really liked about that is that introduction to other cultures through their food, through their language. The Sunshine Coast doesn't have a lot of multicultural influence.
Right.
So that was really eye-opening for us, and it was a great community event. I am very strongly involved with our community. I was born on the Sunshine Coast, been there for nearly 70 years.
Yes.
So I have roots there well and truly, so I think when you run a business, particularly a small business, you support the community that supports you, and that's always been a very strong philosophy for both of us.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see people who are involved in the community going on to the level you're at. Just to wrap us up, are you optimistic? We have
Always.
talked about challenge. We've talked about the challenges
Yeah.
that are ahead of
Yeah.
us with trades, with
Yeah.
all the homes that do need to be built. How optimistic are you, and why are you optimistic about where we're going to go in the future?
Yeah, look, I am optimistic by nature, always, I'm always a sort of glass half full. I think for all of our members, no matter what amount of work you do, it's important to recognise your strength and know your weaknesses and work to those. And whilst we all want to deliver that 1.2 million plus homes,
Yes.
we can only do what we can do well, and we have to look after ourselves and our people first. So be confident about what you do, tackle what you can do and tackle it well, and sleep well at night.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Debbie Johnson is the HIA National President, and we look forward to seeing you in Cairns for the awards. Enjoy your stay in Townsville as you have some discussions over the next couple of days. And again, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another fabulous edition of HIA Matters. We hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you again with another edition coming up very soon.
Are you looking to complete your next building project in rapid time? Have your project approved within 24 hours with rapid building approvals. With multiple office locations across Queensland, our local team is always ready. Try your next project with rapid building approvals and experience the difference.
To find out more, visit rapidapprovals.com.au. HIA Matters, proudly produced by the HIA, you're in good hands, and sponsored by Rapid Building Approvals.